Evansville's average temperature is increasing. We all like warm and sunny days, but this is a sign of a serious problem: climate change. But in order to understand climate change, we must first understand something called greenhouse gases. You may have heard of them before. These are gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. When you drive your car, fly in a plane, or even charge your phone, different types of greenhouse gases are emitted into the atmosphere. We all might know that this happens when we drive our cars, but it might seem weird to think that charging your phone emits gases. But the electricity we use to do so is generated by the burning of fossil fuels, which emit greenhouse gases. The more electricity we use, the more electricity is required, and as we use more fuel to generate it, more greenhouse gases are emitted. So why do we call them greenhouse gases, and why are they dangerous? Greenhouses trap heat inside them, making them very hot, and greenhouse gases do something similar to Earth. As they are emitted into the atmosphere, they form an invisible blanket. Heat from the sun hits the Earth and then is trapped by this blanket. A lot of greenhouse gases are emitted naturally, and over time this has made Earth perfect for life. But as we drive more, fly more, use more electricity, throw things away rather than recycle, and do other activities that emit greenhouse gases, we're emitting more and more of these gases into the atmosphere. And as more gases are emitted, more heat is trapped. Imagine being in a bed during a hot summer's night. A light comforter is perfect, but one that is too thick is unbearable. The comforter over us is becoming thicker and thicker. Our area has already seen an average increase of 1.2 degrees Fahrenheit since 1895. It is predicted that this will rise to between 5 and 6 degrees by 2050. This doesn't sound like much. What's the big deal? We're not talking about some days being slightly hotter than normal. We're talking about our average temperature increasing. In other words, this doesn't just mean some hotter days, but longer, hotter summers and warmer winters. When the weather is warmer, more smog, an ugly mixture of smoke and fog, can form. Our air quality drops, and people with respiratory issues, like asthma, have more difficulty breathing. Currently, Vanderburgh County sees about 7 days of the year hit temperatures above 95 degrees. This might sound nice, but without lowering our greenhouse gas emissions, by 2050, we will see temperatures rising over 95 degrees around 60 days out of the year. Numbers like these are easy to ignore. 2050 seems like a long way away, almost how 2020 sounded very futuristic to us in the past. And 60 extremely hot days doesn't sound too bad, right? Imagine temperatures hitting more than 95 degrees for 2 whole months. More people will be at risk of heat stroke, heat cramp and dehydration, and staying inside doesn't fix the problem. Running fans and air conditioners more often is a massive drain on energy, raising our electricity bills. It's not just hot sunny days we can expect to see. Remember the flooding we saw in spring of 2019? Without lowering our greenhouse gas emissions, Evansville will continue to experience heavier and more frequent rainfall. You might find it strange that higher temperatures mean more rain, but Vanderburgh County has seen, on average, 6.2 inches of additional rainfall each year. More rain means more flooding, and flooding causes damage to our homes and roads, making potholes worse, and chemicals used in our crops and yards can be washed away into places we don't want them. Fewer frost days means that pests, such as mosquitoes, will live longer and be around for more of the year. Climate change is a complex, serious problem that affects all of us, and because of that, it's easy to think that we can't have much of an impact. Here is the good news. By all working together to implement the Climate Action Plan, we'll see some great changes for us, our fellow Evansville residents, future generations, and animals. Imagine a greener Evansville, literally. More parks and green space connected by trails doesn't just make a nice place for humans to visit, but a comfy habitat for wild animals. The Climate Action Plan also aims to develop more bike paths, sidewalks, and better access to the bus system. With more community gardens over Evansville, we'll have better access to fresh, healthy foods, and education programs put in place to teach us how we can grow and harvest our own. Finally, Evansville will be joining other cities, including Indianapolis and South Bend, in enacting a Climate Action Plan. We all have an opportunity to join our neighbours in addressing climate change. We all have an opportunity to make Evansville and the world better. If you want to learn more about what you can do, visit the Get Involved page at www.climateevansville.com. You can also follow the Evansville Climate Action Plan on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.